Today's lesson is starting a new skill. It's actually two that we're going to be looking at together. So our learning targets for this week is that we are learning to find the unknown number needed to make a multiplication or division problem true. We are also learning to find the missing whole number in a division problem. The opener for today is a sort about equations, and you can find it by going to my Google Classroom, going to math. Don't actually go into the um, virtual classroom, but you should have an assignment right here in the string that says equations sort, and click on that. Read these instructions. I tested it out with another student in class, so hopefully that will work for you. And if you have not done that, please pause the video and go do the sort and then come back with me. If you have, we'll move on to the lesson for today. So, how are multiplication and division related? We know from the past week's studies of looking at the multiplication strategies and division strategies that multiplication joins equal groups to find a total or product. Division starts with a total and breaks it into equal groups, and the result or answer to a division problem is called the quotient. So here's an array of tennis balls, and you're looking at it in the way of multiplication, that you have your number of groups, which for your rows, number in each group or row, and then you get the total, which is the product. Or if you look at that same array as a division problem, you have your total, and we put it into equal groups of 3, and then we see that there are 4 in each group. We can use multiplication and division equations to describe a problem. One arranges pennies in an array that looks like this. We can use a multiplication to tell how many pennies there are in all. If we look at it as 4 rows with 8 in each row, we can see there's 32 pennies. So 4 times 8 is equals 32. Or if we look at the number in each row, 8, we can see that we'll make 4 rows of 8, have 8 in each row of 4 rows, there would be 32 pennies. We can look at it same as we did with the tennis balls as a division problem to tell how many pennies are either in each row or how many rows there are. So if we have 32 pennies put into 4 rows, there's going to be 8 pennies in each row, or 32 pennies putting 8 in each row means you're going to have 4 rows of pennies. If you notice that all the equations use the same 3 numbers, 4, 8, and 32, so it's like that's a fact family. If we circle the total in each equation, we're going to circle 32 here and here, and 32 here in the division sentences. So the total is going to be at the end of a sentence if it's a multiplication sentence. It's going to be at the beginning if it's a division sentence. And some of you might be familiar with the fact family triangle, where you have the answer at the top, and then you have the factors, and you can read it 4 times 8 is 32, 8 times 4 is 32, or 32 divided by 4 is 8, or 32 divided by 8 is 4. Go around the triangle. Division equations have related multiplication equations. To help you solve a division problem, you can write a multiplication equation that uses the same numbers. Look at this problem. Nina buys 20 stickers. She puts the same number of stickers on each of 5 pages in her scrapbook. How many stickers does she put on each page? You can ask yourself, 5 times what number equals 20? We know the total number of stickers is 20. So remember where we said we put totals at the end of a multiplication sentence and at the beginning of a division sentence? We know the number of groups, which is 5. You can put things in on pages, which is the same as putting things in groups. The number where you don't know, that's not given to you in this word problem, is how many in each group. So let's look at seeing how we can figure that out. We could share it equally, put a sticker on each page until we got to 20. Or if you know your multiplication facts, that can help you solve this division problem. So we can write a division equation. 20 divided by 5 is equal to, I don't know that part, that wasn't given to me. We could write it as a multiplication equation. 5 times the number I don't know gives me 20. And we see that it is 4. Nina puts 4 stickers on each page. If we count it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. In your own words, use your own words and explain how you could use multiplication to find 35 divided by 5. Just pause the video and think about that, and then come check back with me for your answer. I told the class that I was looking for $1,000,000 answers, and they needed to ask themselves, is yours a $1,000,000 answer? Actually using words. So several students said they could use multiplication and ask themselves, 5 times what number will give me 35? Or they looked at it in a different order and said, what number times 5 would give me 35? Several students said, I could skip count by 5s and to get to 35 if I don't have that fact memorized. And they ended up saying that the unknown part was, what they didn't know was 7. If you said something similar to that, then you have the correct answer. Here is today's quick check. If you'll just look at it and come up with the answer, and I will share that with you. Which set of numbers can be used to make multiplication and division fact families? So which one of these sets could you put into one of these triangles and say that the number times the other number gives you the other number? Or because they are in order from least to greatest, so what you would do is take the two smaller numbers as a starting point and see if when you multiply, are you going to get this number on the end? Or if you take this number and divide by this number, will you get this number on the end? Pause the video and come up with your answer. All right, if I just start out and look at letter A and I say 3 times 5, that 3 times 5 is not 8. 3 plus 5 is 8, but we're looking for multiplication and division. So that wouldn't be the answer. 2 times 8 is not 12, it's 16. So we could not make a fact family out of that. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 plus 6 is 9, but we're looking for multiplication again. So let's look at 3, 4, and 12. Is 12 divided by 3 4? Sorry about my writing, I'm doing it with a mouse. Yes. Is 12 divided by 4 3? Yes. Is 3 times 4 12? And is 4 times 3 12? Yes. So the answer is B. That is it for today's lesson. Let me know if you have any questions. You can now move on and answer the math practice pages.